Marco. Hulk is laughing at my hair.
I thought you were gonna let it go super, super long.
I am. I had to go like get the sides trimmed and in the back
Okay.
because it was just getting hot and it looked like a mullet. Like it's all bad.
It did look like a
You can
movie.
see Angel. You see Angel on the.
Yeah.
You missing Angel?
Yeah.
Where's he at right now?
He's in Tahoe. He's
Tahoe?
at
Because
the
they were
Tahoe
in
convention.
Vegas, right? Like,
Yeah, they were in Vegas yesterday because they got to pass through Vegas. They wanted to sightsee for a little bit
Oh.
and then kill some time, and then they headed out that same day to
That's
Tahoe.
with the Born to Rise?
Yeah, with the Born to
Born to
Rise
Rise.
collective and all of Born to Rise Studio. So it's closed, but they'll be back on Tuesday.
Oh, I thought they had somebody there.
No, the
Oh,
whole
no?
the whole
team went over there?
Yeah, they got Observe Alan as the photographer on the road with them, and also possibly a canvas, and then
He took the painting he did, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what you were talking to Sputnik. I think you had mentioned it.
Yeah, he took the painting that you had him make right here, and then he put some flowers, and then he put the
And
handkerchief
the
from
handkerchief, yeah.
from
From what? Quetzal, right?
From
Shout out to
Quetzal.
Quetzal.
at
Which one are we
Quetzal
on?
Boutique, and we got a frame for it, and now he's hoping he's gonna sell it, or else he's not gonna eat all weekend.
Well, hopefully, right? I mean, if y'all are watching from where? Tahoe? Where's
In
that at?
Tahoe, yeah.
What state is that?
I have no idea.
Well, me neither. I don't know what state.
Vegas is Tahoe. Is Tahoe?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know if it's like past Vegas. I don't know. I've never been over there. It looked like it was far away. It was like they drove for like 8 hours and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like probably like somewhere. I don't know. There you guys can see the Yeska. Is that?
Oh yeah, this is one of our plans for Miss Interior Love. It was actually already purchased. Somebody saw it and
Really?
they want it. Yeah.
So we're taking it from Dromax?
Yeah.
Ah,
No, I told them I'd make him another one. If you guys
nice.
wanted to
That's,
keep that
that's
one.
good. That if you guys are watching, you guys know you can buy. Hey, look at it. I have a hole.
Yeah, the whole. She's like, I really like that how simple it is, and how it grows, and like how you put the little sand on it. I saw it on your guys' show, and I want it. I was like, oh, I gave that one to them, but I'm gonna make you another one. So I made her another one that's like similar to it. This one's been planted for a couple of months now.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you guys use to put in there?
Well, we buy this organic dirt from a lady that stays right there in Mid-City. She has
Yeah.
like a little garden area right there on Washington. And so I buy the dirt from her, and then I get the sand from the beach. And then
The beach?
from the little stones. I got those at at the plants
You gonna
district.
get a shot of it, Marco?
And then
Marco's sleeping.
the little plant. This cactus we actually got it from. There you are.
Here, hold it, Josie. I look horrible with it.
No, you don't. I definitely need to water this one, but we got this little guy from the arts district. We raised it in a house. It was a little bit smaller actually, and then we planted it in this thing. And for right now, it seems like it likes it. I see it's a little bit dry on the bottom part, and I don't know. It's because the way that you water it, you should not put the water on the plant itself. You need to put the water around the root, like on the floor, because sometimes if you don't give it filtered water, the water that we get from the sink or from something, it's still not filtered, and it has like minerals or Clorox sometimes from just the drain, and it kind of messes with the plant. It oxidizes it a little bit. But if you do give it a little bit of filtered water, which these plants you only have to water them once a week, if you have it by a lot of heat. But if you have it by a lot of heat, you should water it twice a week. Like If you water it on Monday, then you'll water it again on Sunday or Saturday or something. But if it's not too hot, then just once a week, or else you'll give it too much water. And plus, this one I made it in a you can't really see the bottom part, but it doesn't have a hole, so it doesn't have a form of getting oxygen to the root. So you have to calculate not putting too much water, or else your root is gonna spoil. And then how you can tell if your cactus is spoiling is if you start to get yellow on the plant. This one, it's been here for about make now small. Where to buy? Oh, okay. So this Yeska Interior Love plant, we can purchase it through Instagram, and if you're local enough, we'll deliver it to you. Personally, I'll package it up and then I'll write down how to take care of it also. It's very simple, like I said. You water it once or twice a week. You can take it anywhere that's inside or outside. Here it's actually growing not bad, and it's gonna be inside. I wanna see how the AC affects it. It's never been in AC, so we'll see if it's gonna be okay. Tofu? I don't know what that says. IG? Oh, the Instagram, oh my God. The Instagram is _Yeska _ interior love. There it is, it's on the board. So Yeska _ interior _ love. Definitely follow the page, and we'll update you with new photography on new pieces that we'll be working on for the end of the month. I've definitely been starting to create some more, but we're gonna get more into it. Last art walk, it was pretty successful. We were able to sell one little plant to another artist that was with us, Heswa, and Observe was able to sell a couple of his photography, which is really nice too. He did some printouts, and then Angel, he brought out a couple of sketches, and so he was able to sell some of those too. So that was pretty cool. I guess it's not just about, to us, about selling it at like a high price, like what we talked about with Sputnik. It's about creating things that can be affordable for everyone, including like someone that has money or not money. But Yeska Interior Love was definitely designed to be an affordable way of creating something natural inside your home by materials that you might have around. Like I said, this plant was made out of, I'm not sure what kind of vase it is, but it doesn't have a hole in the bottom. So it was definitely not made to hold a plant. But this cactus has been growing in here for almost a year now. And it grows very small because it's a small vase. So cactuses grow based on like their environment. So if you put it in a big space, it's gonna grow very big. But if you put it in a small place, it's gonna stay pretty small. And especially if it's indoor, then it gets less nutrients than if it's outside. But you can definitely learn a lot about plants, and you could always DM me on the Yeska Interior Love page, and I could talk to you about how to take care of the plants or where to locate it in your home to where it will grow. Because sometimes cactuses, like people will get them and they'll think, oh, I'll just water them once a week and then just leave it there. But sometimes they're a little bit picky on like what area you put them in your home, because you know, they're meant to be outside. They're desert plants. And so in a way we try to mock that environment as much as we can to help it survive. And California is pretty notorious for having a lot of succulents too, which is pretty cool. It has, of course, a lot to do with, it used to be a desert until we converted it to an ocean of cement. But now we have a lot of desert plants and a lot of different scenery. So, I mean, there's our ocean of cement today, which I think they can see the picture already, right? This is one of the introductions to our next guest, Justin Times. He is a wonderful friend and a photographer that we met through TFTI, the underground photo meetups where artists and models and people just go to hang out with. They happen once a week, sometimes twice a week if we're feeling really creative. Definitely shout out to them. And thank you,
Josie. How
Justin.
are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Came by to hang out with you for a little bit.
Yes, thank you so much. I know it was so far away.
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
No, what you mean? It's nice to see you.
You too, definitely.
There's Thieves with us today. I
Right.
was just telling them about how we met a little bit and how this is now your second time here on the show.
Right.
First time you helped us out with Rearranged, which was really cool, where we got different photographers, different models.
Exactly.
And
That was a
we
very fun collaboration right there.
Right, it was our first collaboration together and many more to come.
It was.
Today, we're blessed to have you here again.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So thank you so much. Shout out
all my peoples out there watching, tuning in, all my Facebook friends out there.
Yes.
My SGV 626ers out there. What's up with it? Your boy right here repping.
Yeah. And I like this piece. We were just talking about how Eskwilax love, the little plants that I make.
Okay.
They're desert plants, but now they can grow here in our ocean of cement. And your picture popped up, and it's all these buildings, and I'm like, there it
Right,
is.
like, yeah,
It's our ocean.
Plants of our city, exactly.
Yeah, it's the plants of our city.
Exactly, the plants of our city. And the streets are like roots, you know?
Yeah.
And the deeper you get into knowing the streets and knowing the people on the streets, I learned that the better that my art comes out.
Yeah.
Like the more time that I spend actually taking the train to Union Station and walking to any destination I end up shooting at from there, I learn a lot more about myself, a lot more about my shooting technique, what I'm comfortable with, my style. It teaches a lot.
And I like that. You can see that.
Actually, that was a treat right there. That shot was on my birthday. My wife had treated me to an airplane ride. And
To this one?
Yeah, that shot right there.
Oh, nice. I was like, that's a really high building. I don't know where that one is.
Yeah, I would love it, man. I would love to find a rooftop that big, though.
Yeah.
In Dubai, maybe you probably.
This is LA, though?
Yes, that's downtown Los Angeles, what I call my playground.
Nice. So which way are you facing?
We're flying from east to west, so we left from the El Monte Airport. Gotham Airlines, shout out to Gotham Airlines for hooking that up that day. And we left out East LA, headed towards downtown, Griffith Observatory, the Hollywood sign. Before I knew it, we were in Santa Monica. You know,
That's
we hit a lot of spots. It was like an hour. I was going to choose Las Vegas in a helicopter, but it was 15 minutes over the Strip. For I think the amount that I got this plane for an hour, I actually saved $30.
Nice, and you got to see your city.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it felt really good too.
And perfect person to see it too. I love your photography. I like your style. You could tell that you move around the city, that you know the city, or you're gladly welcoming the city.
Yes,
to open its doors and for you to bring out the art of these areas that some people don't get to.
Right, people miss it in that perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly, you know.
You
can line up 50 photographers and give them the same object or same area to shoot in, and every picture is going to be different because everybody has a different story to tell, a different perspective to give. And I like that, that, especially imagination, that helps out a lot.
It does.
And, not being afraid to be a kid again, like that helps out a lot also.
Exactly. We were just talking about we did this painting like earlier. It was like Peter Pan, and then like this cop guy, and we were talking about how Peter Pan represented like never wanting to grow up and stuff.
Right,
and
exactly.
And I don't know, it's cool how through art you're able to develop and you're not a kid no more, but you're still being free and creative and open. You don't have to be a certain age to still feel that happiness.
Exactly, right. And that fills in a gap from a lot of things. It's like a stress reliever as well. To be able to let go and just live that fantasy, live that imagination, world real quick for a moment, and and then capture something and put it in perspective to no one else has yet.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
That's the great thing about Instagram. We're so many of us that go to the same photo meet. We're shooting the same people,
And it
but
all
like
looks
they're
different.
all different though.
Yeah.
Like every picture is different, whether it's the angle or the editing or the focus, it's all different. This is one of my favorite shots too, right here.
That one's
like,
really beautiful.
I found that moment. Actually, I just walked into Bolt. I
Bolt's
was just
Barbie.
roaming.
Oh,
I was
that's
just
Glenn
roaming one day. Yeah,
and
I
his
was just
daughter.
roaming one day, and I walked in, and then I think it was the display you guys have on the other side where I believe Richie shoots or Richie cuts.
Yeah.
It was that side that caught my attention, and then when I walked in, he was talking to his daughter, and that caught my eye right away because I'm thinking like, wow, like he didn't want to miss the opportunity to spend time with his daughter that weekend, so that no matter what, all right, I'm at work still, I'm not gonna be able to get off, but I want to see her, drop her off to me here.
Yeah.
And like that's that dedication and that fatherhood that a lot of things are missing, a lot of qualities that a lot of these gentlemen out here are missing, or hope they haven't going to instill in themselves still.
Honestly.
That's definitely something I would do. Definitely, I would do that.
I like it. I mean, shout out to Bolts. I never
Yeah, shout
give
out
a
to
shout out
Bolts.
to Bolts. Lynn, she definitely allows for there to be a family thing
Right.
going on at
Totally,
Bolts.
I felt
I don't know
that.
if it's a barber thing. Is it usually like
A lot
that?
of barbershops are like that.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like the first, even though it's in downtown, where you would think it's like more like strict or something,
yeah, right.
but
More structure to it.
yeah, but
actually,
here-
it's a real free vibe. Actually, the first time I saw it, I was downtown with my wife, and like I always love a good haircut. Like that's one thing that my mom told me, will help you feel better as a man. Feel more like worthy of yourself. Instill a little more self-esteem, and like a good haircut always feels good.
Definitely.
A good haircut always feels good.
It does, and then being able to like hang out there, like you said, with your daughter, or even photographers to come in, or even me sometimes. Like I just sit there and have lunch with Angel, and he's at work. The barbers are saying hi. That's like a whole interaction that's going on there.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Girl One Fades.
Girl One Fades.
Yeah, first time I met her. Also, I just took a shot of her. She was right there cutting, and it was the reflection of the mirror that I actually caught caught my eye. So I got her in the reflection. She was cutting someone's hair, so I was able to get like the both dimensions of it in that one shot. And again, like it was just I walked in there and caught that moment. I think I shot the pole that they have right there. There was a few things I shot that I liked that day.
I've probably seen some of your photography on her page then, or
I'm sure. Yeah, I took a couple shots of her. She did post it, I believe, once.
Cool,
Yeah, she
nice.
did. Yeah, she did. She liked it too a lot.
yeah, I'm excited for her to come on in a little bit. Like we were talking about, the Eskwilax Hour promotes all sorts of artists,
Also,
and
right.
yeah, and so I'm really excited that you came back and you showed your photography. I like this piece too.
Oh, the previous, yeah, that's like a metaphoric thing. Like sometimes you doubt yourself and your abilities. Just because you may have posted a picture that skyrocketed to 150, 215 likes in like 3 hours. But then it's the pictures that you feel like this is my favorite picture. Like I can't wait till they see this one. And then you post it, and then the reaction you get from it isn't what you expected. But you can't let that take away from who you are.
Yeah.
You have to look at it as, what? Well, I know I put my all into it. The people that saw it appreciate it, obviously.
Yeah,
That's why a few days ago I posted, sometimes I feel like my photography is esoteric, It's only certain people can understand what I'm trying to get across in that moment. And like same thing, I'm big on captions also. Like I feel the caption has to match or just as be as much of a high intensity level as the picture.
I like the way you present your pictures.
Thank you.
Not just like the final piece, but the way you also present it as an artist.
Thank you.
The interactionness. You also dress up as, you have dressed up as characters too,
right?
Yes,
I have a character I do. His name is Ben Awakened.
Ben Awakened.
It's like a storybook, like a comic book kind of thing. If you follow me on Instagram, Just in Time, JUSTENTYME_images. You'll be able to see all the pictures that I have for Ben Awakened as well. And if you follow the pictures I have of him, you'll learn that it is a comic book if you read the captions as well. And the images also tell a story of a comic book. Either I'm battling someone, or I call him the son of the boogeyman.
Nice.
So I always have a child with me, and a flag usually I have with me, and like I have like the child pulling me with the American flag. America is in our children's hands right now.
Yeah.
And it's the future of America, the future of everything right now is in the children's hands. So in order to beat the nightmare, it would be up to the children to do it. You know what I mean? Like we can tell them, and we can try and help battle that nightmare for them. But who's going to finish it off? You know what I mean? It's going to be our offspring. It's going to be the children.
Right.
So that's why I always have them, battling the nightmare and always winning. You mean always winning to show them that they can conquer. Also, it's empowerment. Also, I believe to those young ladies that I find and the little guys I find that I get to do the picture with me. Like they're scared at first, but then when they see how like I'm trying to be warm and like friendly with them, and like I can talk just because my mouth doesn't move on the mask doesn't mean I don't have a voice still.
Yeah.
So once they see I can still talk, then they get a little bit more comfortable and like we do a lot of different things.
Down to do the pictures.
Yeah, that's my little setup right here. I do a lot of steel wool.
Yeah,
so,
you do.
That's like one of the first things I learned to do when I got my camera. The reason why I chose this camera, it's the Nikon D3300. The reason why I chose it, I got it for Christmas, 2015, and that same year it was
That's how long
voted.
you've been doing photography for?
Right. Well, with this camera, I've been doing photography for about 6 years.
Oh, nice.
It started off with point and shoot cameras and iPhone.
Oh, okay.
And then after I started learning, like, wow, like I kind of grew out of this point and shoot camera, you know. But it was a Nikon L820. And after I started talking to people about it and researching cameras, the Nikon D3300 was the amateur photographer camera of the year.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, what better thing to start with, something I can start with. And, again, my wife out there supported.
I know, shout out. Thank you to
Shout out
your
wifey,
wife and your
She gave me a
family.
little Christmas gift, came in for me that year, and I was like, I haven't let it go since. And like, it's changed, I can definitely say it's changed my life in many ways. Like, not that I was into knucklehead things or troublesome things, but there's always opportunities for anything to happen.
Yeah.
And I can imagine if I didn't have that camera in my hand most of the times, and who knows, God forbid, especially, but who knows the things I might have came across that, might have been, there she is right there.
I love that image.
Thank you. We're on our way back from Palmdale, taking my daughter back to Palmdale to her mom's.
They took it of you, your daughter?
No, I set like a lot of my shots. I set up myself.
Yeah?
On the tripod. Yeah, I set up on a
I
tripod,
see.
and then like kind of guesstimate, or if my wife is with me or someone else is with me, I kind of have them stand in where I would be, so that I can make sure my sharpness is there.
Look how
But
pretty
yeah,
it is.
yeah, it's in the mountains off the Angeles Crest Highway, on the way to Palmdale off the 2. It's a really nice spot right there. I found just random spot. And yeah, the clouds were just really good with it, and the coloring just was dynamic for it that day.
Mountains, the
I liked it a
shadows.
lot. Yeah.
And you got your M for married right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it did come out in the bottom. You saw that? See, there's a lot of metaphors,
Yeah.
A lot of metaphors. Love it.
I like it. I showed Angel. I was like, look at this clean shot.
Yes, that's my boo boo right there, my ladybug, or I call her my lady that bugs.
Yeah.
You have those moments, but it happens.
I mean, it's not talked about a lot, but it's definitely a topic that is high in the photography world. Like partnerships and like
Yes.
modeling and photography. Like, how do
Exactly.
you
Support and everything, right?
juggle it all, support it, and not let society's like norms
Right.
allow us to or impede us from creating, because we tear each other apart sometimes, and
It's true.
sometimes
yeah,
we
it's
push
true.
each other
Yeah,
to
exactly.
continue.
That's when you got to have a strong team. Shout out to Juice Photography right now, especially.
Oh, yeah.
My boy Juice, like we're like bread
Good
and butter.
team.
Like, yeah, we're like a team. The other day we had to shoot with 2 BMWs. One of the young ladies that came from up north in Bay Area, and we linked up with her. I was already on my way to downtown. My wife and I were just gonna take the train to downtown and see what happens.
Yeah.
Have some lunch at Spring Tree Smokehouse. Shout out to Spring Tree Smokehouse.
It's good.
Also, I was good with it. West Coast sandwich. Get that.
Yeah, nice.
But
I have 'em
yeah, it's
here.
delicious sandwich. But we're on our way out there, and just as we're heading to the car, Juice calls me and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm headed to LA right now. He's like, so am I. I'm like, so let's collab, let's link up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be on Lower Grand. I got 2 BMWs. Meet me up. We meet up. Again, right away we get to our shooting. We gelled very well. Like the first time I met him was at a street meet LA, and we gelled right away. Right when I met him, like right away we gelled.
I like the word. I never heard the word gel. Like,
Yeah.
used like that.
Yeah, we gelled right away. We gelled, and then so we're shooting and on Lower Grand, and then we move them to the other side. The long part where the lights are. The part of the street where everybody usually shoots.
Were Rihanna done her video?
Yes,
No.
and the Kendrick Lamar little video.
Yes.
And
That's funny that they did that, huh?
Right.
I was
it's
like, they're
you
watching.
kinda yeah, exactly.
They're
That's the first thing I
watching.
said to my friends. Like, oh, see, they saw our stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, I was
they're running
like,
out of spots, so they're looking at our spots.
Yeah, they're
And
watching.
who knows though? Who knows? Who picture it was they saw. I'm not saying it's mine, but I'm part of that community that inspired some of these videos out there. I'm gonna say that though. We are part of that community, definitely. are. And like our movement is so much of the same, and we had moved the cars, and the first thing he said was, I'm not putting a car right in the middle and taking a picture of it. You know, that's the average picture you see on Instagram. I'm like, all right, Juice, all right, we'll do it. Like, how do you want to set it up? It's like, I want to set it up like off the line, but like still be able to see the whole street. I'm like, all right, so we set it up. It was a nice shot. We ended up setting up.
The one with the car?
Yeah, the one with the two BMWs, the white BMW and the yellow one.
Those are nice.
Yeah, I like that one. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember you.
And like we went around to the front of the white BMW and simultaneously like stooped down to the same level, getting ready to take the same shot. And we just looked at each other and just laughed. You know, it was just funny. We were just like, man,
let's do this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it was like we just knew right then, like again, like another moment that we had like that was the first time I met him. Actually, that happened to us.
Right.
So yeah, he inspires me a lot. I talk to him a lot. We trade edits a lot. You know, what's missing here? What do you think I should add? Should I leave it alone? Or we'll do like multiple edits of the same picture, and I'll concur with him. Do you think this is nice, or should I put more into it? Should I take some more out of it? You know, and like he just gives me pretty accurate conclusions about that. And then same thing about me. I give him pretty good, feedback about it also.
Feedback and forth,
exactly.
and that's nice.
And we
that
take
you guys
each other's constructive criticism, whether it be good or bad. We can take it.
I like
Sometimes
it.
I joke with him, but
How long have y'all been working together now for?
It's been about a year, Yeah, because I think maybe like 2 months ago we had I think I called it our friendiversary.
A friendiversary?
Yeah, I posted
nice.
something on Instagram and it reminded me like, wow, like that was like a year ago today. Or something I posted on Facebook said that this happened a year ago, and I was like, Jewel, like this is our friendiversary. He was like laughing,
That's
like funny.
cool.
Yeah, but we're like that, But
I like that.
he's real playful, real, like brother-like to me also.
That's awesome.
A lot of guys out there. Sub-Zero, shout out to Sub-Zero. King Louie, shout out King Louie. He took me on my first rooftop.
Oh.
My first rooftop was with King Louie and Weebra. Shout out Weebra also.
Those rooftop photo shoots are something else, huh?
I love it. Like I live for it. Like that's the first thing that's on my mind when I get on the train or if I'm driving to LA. First thing I think about doing is hitting a rooftop.
I like the train pictures too. This one's at Venice.
Yeah, it's at Venice Beach. Again, like my friends it was a Monday morning and he was just like, let's go to Venice. I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm thinking like, yeah, it's not gonna be crowded, it's decent weather. And we got there at about 12:31 and we just walked around. I hit the skate park. I got a lot of good shots at the skate park that day, I feel. And then on the way out, it was about sunset, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then that's when I saw this happening. So I was like, I gotta get this,
Right.
My friends, they understand, they laugh at me, they went from making fun of me when I had my iPhone, like you take pictures of everything, like your food, what you're doing all day, and like that kind of told me myself also like, wow, I have an interest in photography, And that's when I started getting more into it.
I like that. I mean, definitely we've talked about before how photography is not only used as a form of like therapy or as a form of socializing or as a hobby or as a job. It can be used as a lot of different things,
Exactly. And
communication.
the same thing, like just because you take a picture of what's on the table right now, you'd be surprised what billboard that might fit, or someone else is advertising and marketing. There's so many revenues also. Like, don't feel like you're just a photo meet photographer. Don't feel like you're just a wedding photographer. Don't feel like you just do portraits. Don't feel like that, because what you're shooting is not just that.
Yeah.
And then once I realized that, I opened up my own, avenue of revenue, where I'm doing weddings now, birthday parties, portrait shoots for graduation, baby shoots, baby showers. I'm getting into that, and my people are liking the results, and word of mouth. I got my business cards I push out there. A small website I started that I need to like work on a little bit more, so I'm not going to disclose that right now. But yeah, it's like it's opening up for me. A lot of avenues are opening up for me, and it's because I'm getting out there.
Yeah,
You have to get out there and network. Same thing with Juice and I that day after we left from Lower Grand. It was something that was compelling him to go to that spot with the abandoned trains right there off of Mission.
Oh,
Something
yes.
was compelling him to take us there. So he was like, let's go now, type thing, So we went. Right when we get there, there's a model and a photographer there. So we're like, all right, cool. Then she turns around and says, I want those cars in my shot. We start talking to the photographer. The photographer ends up shooting for Maxim magazine.
Nice.
So then, shout out Stretch also.
Wow.
And like, it's not like he gave us his Instagram, he gave us his personal phone number, and like that's showing an interest and also showing how hungry we are. Okay, here's my number. I like you guys' stuff. Now let me see what you're gonna do with it. So it's like from that point is when you have to gather yourself and present yourself properly, so that you don't blow that one opportunity possibly.
Exactly.
Because who knows? And I hope that Juice and I are able to work with Maxim magazine some more. That would be great.
Yeah,
like that would be actually a dream come true to work with Maxim magazine. And
That'd be
dealing
really
with
cool.
all type of culture of just you know, what men like, you know?
Yeah.
And like it's easy to do, you know, to capture an image that, you know, a man would be into, being a man, you know, like putting the masculinity, but yet the finesse, you know, into it, that it also appeals to like a woman's eye as well, you know? So that's what a lot of it takes.
And most definitely the raw experience.
Right,
you know,
exactly. Like it not being planned, you know, and like stumbling on that moment and her saying, I want to shoot with the cars. So now it's like, now we're not just shooting a structured vehicle, but we're now shooting a moving object, you know? And then to incorporate the lines of a car and the lines of a human, or the curvature of a woman posing next to a vehicle, it really takes a lot of like tenacity.
Yeah.
You can't just try it and give up. You have to try different angles. Same shot, same pose, try different angles. You know, work that one pose in different angles. Work that one pose with shadowing, without shadowing. Like you're gonna find it. You're gonna find your groove. And the same thing, like I warm up. Once I warm up, I just feel it. You know, my ideas start flowing. And like, all right, move this way, or maybe like look down, or maybe like look up at me, but off, you know, off your shoulder. And just little ideas like that. Like I find my coaching techniques, I get it from, you know, YouTube.
Are you talk with your models?
Yeah, I talk with my models, exactly, because I want them not to feel like they're on the spot. I want them to almost have that imagination that they're holding their own cell phone and taking a selfie, because to me, a lot of my friends that I'm trying to get in front of my camera, they take about like 70 selfies a week, you know? And it's like when I tell them, oh, let me take a shot of you. Oh, I'm camera shy. Like, and I'm like, what?
I know.
You know, it's hard to believe.
You're right. I've definitely run into and I get surprised. I'm like, oh, or even when I ask him to come on the show.
Right.
I'm like, you model, but you're shy to come on the camera.
And some of the things that they do is like very, you know, it takes a lot of courage, you know, a lot of want also to do some of those poses, and they do it. And then, you know, on another day they might not want to get in front of the, you know, the video camera, you know. But you know, some days they want to video, they don't want to shoot. You know, it's all a feeling.
But everybody's different creatives.
Exactly, it's all a feeling. Exactly, it's all a feeling.
Most definitely, it is different to ask somebody to come on the show. I'm not trying to say it's something that's very easy.
It is. I mean, I was excited when I was asked to be on here. I was excited. I was like, wow. And then I was like,
you're so busy.
You know
I was so
like,
shy.
Oh my God, like,
I was like, oh, Justin's always busy. We got lucky that you were able to be here with us. That rearranged.
Thank you.
And I know you stay pretty far, but you're always moving. You know,
yeah, that's what it is. I just want it.
You know?
I want it.
You're like,
and every day I want
I'll be
it.
There.
Every day I want that camera in my hand. I want to look through that lens every day. I want to find something new every day. Whether it be in my own neighborhood, if I can't make it to LA, then I'm gonna take a walk in my own few blocks, you know? And that's when I found those small abandoned places, you know, but it's like what you can do with it, you know, what's possible to do with that, and you put it out there and just, you know.
I remember the first time I think I was on your story and you were inside the abandoned hospital.
Oh yeah.
Here in Boyle Heights?
The USC, yeah. I got in there, the first time I got in there I was with my wife, and we were just like in downtown just having fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have my camera that day. Like sometimes I want to take my camera with me all the time, but when we come to LA together, sometimes I'm like, you know what, like this is about her, right? Like this moment, let this time together be about her, be about us. Let me leave the camera at home, and then again, that's when I find that, like, you know, but.
So you guys had ran into it, and then you went back?
Yeah, we had ran into it. We went in there. I found the way in and everything, and like she walked around with me together. But I didn't want to spend too much time in there because it was like the tuberculosis research lab we stumbled into. So I was like, I didn't want to walk around without any, you know, face cover or anything, and get her exposed as well. I would, you know, feel bad if something happened to her, definitely. So we left. But then, I came back to it, and that's when, you know, like for some reason I get like the best luck with abandoned places, or with a security being in front of a roof of a hotel for a roof, or you know, loft with roofs. I just get luck. You know, like either they don't look at me or they look at me as if I'm already there, you know. So I just walk past them, look natural, feel natural about it, and then I just thought about, all right, it was this color staircase, and then like, so I went to that one, found that one. Once I got up, I just went, first thing I wanted to do was go up to the auditorium surgery room. That's the first thing I wanted, because like I saw it on YouTube and I see it on, you know, other people I follow on Instagram, you know, 6 a.m. Los Angeles was in there a few times, you know, like it's like he lives in the hospital for a while. And same thing with the hospital right across from me that's abandoned. Like I haven't finished that one. I've only been in that one once. And like, again, I want to go back and conquer it, but like this time I really felt I was able to put my hands on the general hospital there and explore it the way I wanted to on my own time without being rushed. And again, went through all safety precautions. I didn't vandalize anything. I didn't take anything. That's not what I was there for. I was there to just explore, discover, and respect the history that was left behind.
I like it.
Definitely. And like I found a lot of gems in there, a lot of gems.
That's really
A lot of
cool.
gems. There's certain pictures I don't post on Instagram because I feel like it's that sharp, and like I kind of keep it for myself, my own personal portfolio.
And that's good. Remember, whatever goes on Instagram, you don't own no more.
Exactly.
So definitely, you can be cautious with your photography.
Right,
Not, discrediting Instagram. I love Instagram.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
hate Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
Double tap, untap.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I feel sometimes about it myself also.
But it sometimes change, we just gotta let it come.
Exactly, right.
If it's the form that's gonna help us develop whatever we're trying to do, then all right.
Right.
But we also have to control it,
Right.
Like
Tone
you
yourself
said.
down or kick it up a notch,
Yeah.
Either or. You have to find that groove always. Always find that groove.
How do you find that balance sometimes, especially as a photographer when you have so much media, like you just want to post and take and go?
Yeah, it's tough to decide.
What becomes personal or what just becomes part of your photography or your story that you want to put out there?
Yes,
it's good that you have as a character too.
Right.
Does that help you distinguish?
Yeah, it's like a variety. I try to add a variety of it. And also it shows what you're capable of at the same time. The level of platform that you're ready for. Like there's no such thing as luck. It's just prepared opportunity.
Yeah.
Like no one's lucky. You just you were prepared for the opportunity when it came to you. So you're able to do it successfully. You were able to complete it.
Angel says that all the time. He's
qualms.
like, don't call me lucky. I work for it.
Exactly,
or
right.
It happened because we planned it or it was meant to happen.
Right. It's like when I first started shooting, a lot of the things that my wife didn't yet understand. Like, why are you doing it at like 2:30 in the morning? Why are you down there by yourself walking around? For what? For what? What are those pictures that they're not going to do nothing? But they didn't do anything, but yet they did something for me. Like they got me to the level of performance I am right now.
Yeah.
That practice, and then seeing what I can do, and that focus getting sharper, and then your infinity focus getting sharper. And I impress myself,
The colors, it's just all different.
It is the vivacious colors that show up on tones, like the purples to the blues.
Instead of
right,
you having to edit those into it, you already caught it in natural.
Exactly, and that's a lot of things I like to do. It's
that's what I like
I'll
too.
kick up my ISO a little bit higher sometimes, or I'll take it down a little bit lower.
I'll
go against the grain sometimes. Yes, the ISO. I feel like the ISO, the amount of light and aperture,
okay.
How quick the shutter speed is. It has a lot to do with what the camera's picking up, what the lens is picking up out there. It could turn a blue purple. It could turn an orange, more yellow. It depends on your long exposure, especially. In which I was going to say here about to my still wool. I was going to give you guys a little still wool tip here. A little way I practice.
Still wool. Do we have a picture? No, we don't have a picture.
I think I might have submitted a couple of my still wool pictures on there.
But still wool is basically like sparks.
Right, it's the sparks
that's ever seen it before.
The still wool here. What I like to use is either the quadruple zero or the triple zero still wool. That I have here is my trusty gloves. Like I've had these for like ever.
You say you're gonna do some?
No, I'm not gonna do some right here, but I'm just gonna show like a little technique I use to set it up.
Oh, okay,
What
cool.
I feel like, because I feel like setting up the still wool has a lot to do with your output of the sparks that come out and the way they spray. And there's like different ways to do it. And I saw it on Instagram originally, but then again, like whatever I learned, just like.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, this one. That's one of my favorite pictures. But then I was very like nervous about it because it was right there in Elysian Park and all the palm trees. So I was like, I want them to go. I want the sparks to go high, but I don't want to hit the palm tree. So I would hate to set those on fire. I would hate to do that. I would hate to be responsible for that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like
that's really
it's
great.
hard. It took practice to get a consistent
That's a big
circle.
picture.
Yeah, I like it. I like telling.
I like that. I like the big image
the halos
that you created. Yeah, the halos.
The halo hero. I love doing halos. Like it was one of the first things I learned to do when I learned long exposure photography. And it was, they said to first unroll your still wool. So you unroll it like this. And then again, like all fire breathes, it needs air to breathe. So that's what the first thing you're gonna wanna do is aerate it. So first thing I do is stretch it out.
I'm my phone to record you also.
I stretch it out the long way, and then I stretch it out this way, sideways. So now I fluffed out a little bit.
Zoom into
So now it's nice and aerated.
So you get some air into it.
Right, get a nice flow of air going through there. Then I'll go ahead and fold that. So now once you get the air go through it, you're looking at your length of time that you have to shoot with just this one piece, for example. So now since I've got it nice and aerated, I'm gonna fold it over. So now what I'm doing is adding myself more time to be able to spin it. And every time I do that, I'm gonna go pull it apart a little bit. And I use double whisks for my steel wool. I use double whisks. I little rigged it up here. Got my rope. Got a little keychain hook, so it gives a natural spin. So I don't, add any rope burn to my fingers. I don't hurt myself. That's why I use the gloves also. You don't want to get the steel wool in your skin. That's like the worst thing, to get steel wool under your skin. Not fun at all, not fun. Then you're gonna want to go ahead and stuff that in there. And as you see, mine are well used, so I kind of have to manipulate the whisk blades, I guess you would call them. Once it's in there, then I want to lock it in there. And then I would do the same for this side. I usually carry a 9-volt battery with me so that I can just use a 9-volt battery. You don't have to worry about the wind blocking a lighter, and then that taking away from the time that, you might have set your timer on your camera to go off at a certain moment so you can do your steel wool. That's how I usually do it, is I set my timer on it. And I usually do a 10 to a 13 second exposure on my steel wool. And then once I rub my 9-volt battery against it, it'll start a natural little ember spark, sort of like a campfire starting up. And then you just start to spin it and get it nice and hot, and get it nice and red. And then once I get the whole thing red on both sides, then I begin my spin. And from that point, you do different styles and different techniques you have to do steel wool. You can do like a sphere, where it looks like you're inside the sphere once you're done. And then there's the halo that goes around in a circle. And then there's the one that goes around sideways like this, and then it comes out like the multiple rings. Or if you stand in one spot, it'll be like the one large circle ring with the steel wool spraying out from it on the sides. But yeah, it's something I made up myself, 2 whisks. I just thought it would add more to it. And then sometimes I can do this, and once I pack both of them, I can usually get about 3 pictures.
3 pictures?
3 pictures out of just the one steel wool, out of one time packing out.
Because you have to get it right?
Right, because it depends on how you want to do it. It can look sloppy, or it can look really sharp.
Okay.
And sometimes it's the way you're, carrying the rope, the way you're spinning the rope, the speed that you're spinning the rope in also has a lot to do with how long it's going to last. If you're spinning it really fast, of course, the air is going through, it's going to shoot off and break off a lot faster. If you get a nice consistent spin where you just like have a nice rotation where you just like, every so often you just give a nice spin to it, a nice reflection to it, or a nice reflex on it.
That's really cool.
Add a little spin. But yeah, the halos, once you do that, you get the sense of it. You can feel that the circle you're doing behind your head is like a nice, perfect round circle. It's not interrupted.
The first time I worked with it was with Ink Barbie.
Nice. That's nice.
See, that's the steel wool.
That's nice. See, yeah, so I like when it has something to bounce off of and add dimension to it.
Yeah, you start creating the shapes, huh?
Right. The more you can fill it up. So if you're in
you're
in a square area, it'll fill up the whole box. You'll see it.
But you've been in one of the pictures from the steel wool.
Yeah.
And somebody will take a picture because your wife does some photography too, right?
Yeah. She shot for me a few times.
I like that. And of course, other photographers too.
Exactly. When I drag her out to photo meets with me, there's certain shots.
I've seen her get some good shots.
Yeah, she has. She has gotten some good shots. That's my best friend right there, Renee.
Oh, hi, Renee.
Every now and then she comes out and models for me. I get her confidence boosted up, and she gets in front of the lens for me. We just did this on Monday, actually. I just did Monday.
Oh, that's
Monday,
pretty.
Yeah. I was just like my 3rd time out here this week already.
I know. I really appreciate you.
I love it. Like I would have came regardless though. Regardless, I would have been out here. So she's facing the city skyline right there.
You got the city so nice. I like how you got all those lights and even some windows that are on and off.
Right. Thank you. She's holding like an apple with LED lights wrapped around it, so it's like adds like the mysteriousness. How she's looking over her shoulder also, like.
And I like how you got her hair dripping over her shoulder and stuff.
Yeah, the wind, like luck, opportunity of the wind coming along. That's what that was right there.
The opportunity of the wind. And the one that we have in the back. Oh no, wait, this is another.
That one, that one I shot that one that same night also. That same night, and again, like we're just on our way out, and we were just getting there at that moment. We were just getting there, and I was like, wow, like look at this, like, it's like sometimes it's not the amount of buildings that's in there, it's the angle, it's the depth of it, it's, how sharp it is on what I like to say the corners and the edges of it. Like you can see all the way on the street level, all the way to the very top of,
Look how clean
the Wells
those
Fargo
are.
building. Right, thank you.
It's like you complemented the building's angles.
Thank you. Right, it's like you can actually you feel like you're standing there right now.
Yeah.
Like almost the feeling. That's what That's what my drive is to do, is to make you.
And it's like you got a lot, and all of it is very clear, and that's what's
Thank you.
hard sometimes.
It is hard to
capturing a lot in a picture, you
especially
know?
with a cropped camera. You know, I can't wait to get my full frame, that D610. You know, that's what my next shot is. I'm going for.
What would that change in the picture?
What it does is it'll put more focal points on it. So right now, I believe the camera I have it as 12 or 14 focal points, like little boxes that, you know, will be sharp.
Oh, okay.
But the full frame cameras, they have like, I believe, up to 24.
Oh.
So like focal points, if I'm right, about 24 focal points on it.
Oh.
Shout out to my boy right here too. Get over here, man. This guy right here, again, like I hardly knew him, you know. And like we met up again, like we met up at Union Station that day, right? And we just started walking. Me, himself, absurd, you know. And then we stopped to eat at, you know, Big Mama's slice of pizza or something like that. And we're talking, and like I'm showing him my Instagram, and I'm telling him how I feel, you know, about it. He's like, you know what? This is why this one sucks. You know, it's like, it's not like he was like being hard on me, but it was just like giving it to you straight, because I know you're an artist that can handle it, and I can see you want more out of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like once he recognized that, and he was like, this is what's going on with your stuff. I like this one. This is why I like this one. I don't like this one. This is why I don't like this one. I soaked that up, and like, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. Like seriously, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Like, it's like a humbling experience to be able to have somebody tell somebody, you know, like, it sucks, but let me tell you why it sucks. You know, like, it's not like you're just like trying to come down on them or like leave them without any positive reinforcement. You know, like I always try to do that whenever I'm giving constructive criticism. You leave them with something to grow on. You know, you don't chop at the tree and just walk away and watch the tree tumble over. That just chop at the tree. I hope that they wake up from that. It's a dream that they're living to me of themselves. I don't want to say more. But yeah, I feel strongly about certain things that I see at certain moments. But I take it as it has to be a reason why that was said, or there has to be a reason why it's taking so long when you're busy. But then, you mean, like, I just saw your story, you're right. You mean, like, it's funny how, you know, like, people want to collab with you, and then they don't want to collab with you, and then when they do, it doesn't feel the same sometimes. Or when they do, it's like not as much intensity between both of you guys. It's like you guys are there together shooting the same spot. You know, I don't like that. I like to really like mingle and talk with people that I'm shooting with, because it makes the time and like what's creative, you know, become more possible.
Definitely. And more creative, you know. And it helps you develop as an artist too. Like you just said, you know. Like, but you have to be able to take it as positive construction.
You gotta want to learn. You gotta want to learn. You gotta want to learn. That's about it.
I don't know. I'm definitely experiencing all that together, even
like,
not as a
I just want to be inspiring to people, you know. Like, I'm not trying to be better than you. I'm trying to be better than me yesterday. That's about it. You know, that's about it. Like, I don't want to beat you. I don't want to, you know. That's why one of my hashtags I use all the time is "see you at the finish line." You know, it's not that like, oh, I'm here. I'll see you when you get here. It's not that you're there. I'm trying to get there. It's I'll see you when we're there. You know, when we're there, I'll see you there. You know, so it's like wishing, you know, success and, you know, efforts on both ends. You know, like not saying that you're not there. I'm not saying you are there. I'm not saying I am. I'm not saying I'm not. But we're both gonna get there one day, and I'll see you there.
Definitely. Photography, is it like, is it part of your like job, or do you do
right now
that?
it's like my profession at this moment. I'm gonna go ahead and say is what I want to turn into a career.
Okay, cool.
I've done things outside of, you know, just going to take pictures. I've gone to classes. I've taken a class in Lightroom online. I've gotten my diploma in Lightroom with.
What's Lightroom?
Lightroom is an editing app that they use.
Okay,
and that's what, right now, like, I'm down. Like, if anything, I would say I'm down right now. My laptop is like old, outdated, and it can't really handle Lightroom. So I'm editing, like, everything you see on my Instagram is off of my phone.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm editing off of my phone. So either off of Photoshop on my phone or Lightroom on my phone is how I edit my pictures. Like,
That's
that
cool.
one right there. See, I'm like, me?
Yeah.
I see you at the finish line, you know? And that's where I'm going, to the top.
You're like,
You know,
let's
that's
go.
like, that's where I'm headed. Like, let's go, you know? And that's why my back is to the camera and I have my hood on, because I'm not representing myself. I'm representing anyone could be that person.
Yeah.
Anyone, you know, we all have dreams that we want to accomplish. We have goals that we want to get done, get past, and succeed on. So we're all headed to the top, you know, we're all going there.
No, and you can see it. I was just thinking about how I used to post longer writings, and then my pictures were just kind of like whatever, you know. And they were pictures, but they're just like off my phone and stuff. Never photography. And now that I post photography, my captions have become smaller. My captions they used to be longer.
Because I mean, it's like brain exercise. That's one thing like about being on the other side of the lens when I deal with customers or clients, should I say. Sometimes they feel like once you've gotten the picture and they like the picture, they want it then. Okay, that's fine, you can have it, but like all your sharp images is what I tell, all sharp images, they will be edited. From any further from that I send you, I'm gonna send you all the copies. I'm gonna edit the sharp ones. I'm sending those to you also, either on CD or USB port.
Yeah.
And then from there, you tell me what you liked that I missed, and then I'll edit those for you also. And then from that point, it's like sometimes they don't like take an account of the effort and the time that you spend on editing one picture.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really easy. Sometimes I can grab a picture and edit it. I'm done in like maybe 45 minutes. And like I'm content, should I say, with it in 45 minutes. I feel like too much or too less would take away from it. But then there's ones that I haven't finished yet. That have been like a week, and I'm just working on it. I'm working on it because I'm trying to pull more out of myself and out of that picture without overdoing it.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I add to it and I'll look at it in different lighting also. Like when you edit on the phone especially, once you move to a different room or something changes in the room as far as the lighting, you just change your editing.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to be aware of when that change happens so that you stop almost editing. If you can't get that same lighting back, that's what I do. I just stop editing. If the light goes on and I can't control it, I don't have the power to say turn that light out, then I'll just stop that edit because it'll change the whole outcome of that edit now once the light is added on your screen on top of it.
Damn, you see all that process, sometimes nobody really knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, like it takes, it's a trial and error.
Yeah, but thank you definitely for sharing it.
Yeah, and that's another one of my favorite shots right there. Like,
oh yeah, you work a lot with the smoke grenades too.
I'm big on special effects. Like, it's one thing I really soaked up a lot on. Like, I saw the impression that it made the first time I saw it. The first time I saw a smoke grenade, I was just like, boom, almost like the movement that smoke makes,
And that was at the photo meets that you met the smoke grenades?
Yeah, the first time I saw a smoke grenade, was at a photo meet. And this was at Santa Fe Dam in Irwindale area. And, I grabbed the model, Brenda, shout out to Brindisi out there, and I grabbed the model up, and then we popped the smoke, and then the sun, the way the sun hit it, changed the red almost to the orangish red that her dress is. And that's what I like the most about this picture is how the smoke just matched her dress right away.
Nice.
And the movement of the smoke, how it's really saturated going across the front, and then the back is like kind of the illusion part of it, where it adds that mysterious look where it's like you don't know I'm just standing in an average, dirt path at a park. It doesn't look like that. I can be anywhere. She can be in any state at that moment. And that's what a lot of things that I've been told about my pictures also, like they're done right here. Like a lot of my local pictures, I noticed also my wife, she'll say like if I take it in Covina or like this one, I took that one in, I think San Dimas. So yeah, Pudding Stone Lake, I took that one at Pudding Stone Lake. And again, like it looks nothing like California. It's that vibe where it's like it could be anywhere. Like you can walk into a dentist's office and see that, I feel like, like it's like so versatile, like it's kitchen material, it's like it goes anywhere.
It's really pretty.
It goes anywhere, right?
All types of photography.
I really love that one. That was like one of my first edits on Lightroom after I had got my diploma, actually. That was one of my first edits I did. Yeah, and I wanted to go in on it, but I didn't want to go too hard in on it.
Like on this one, you use shadows or it came out like that?
Yes, I did different. Like I said, Juice and I will do edits, and we'll send each other like the edits and which one is better. So yeah, this one I chose to focus on like the sky, like looking through the heart at the sky, and then just the outline of that. There's just people, That's when I like to just take away the fact of it's myself and my wife, and just make it just like that universal picture where Hallmark can pick it up, or it can go on a calendar. That's the thing I'm trying to appeal. I'm trying to show my level of performance.
And you do all kinds of photography, like what we're talking about. You do landscapes, you do stuff with models, and cars.
Products, everything. Like to show, like not only did I want to do it, but this is what I can do.
Yeah.
Once I find the right subject or the right person to shoot, accompany it with something. I try to accompany it with something so that it adds just a flair. It's not just your average portrait.
Yeah.
I try to add an accent to it, and so that the model complements the car or the car complements the model, whether it be the apple with the LED light wrapped around it, they're both complementing each other in some way. I have I have to tell that, I have to link it together. I can't just leave it with, without being said. I like to link it together indefinite.
I like it. I like the layers that you have behind.
Thank you. Yeah,
your
it's like to see
photography.
where the sun's coming out. Like, I took my time with this one.
Well, like you said, on this day you took your camera, right?
Yeah. It was like, we were going to drop my daughter off, and it was like, I knew that, in Acton and Palmdale areas, like there's a lot of abandoned places, and like those are places that seem untouched as far as what I see on Instagram, So I try to always be part of the pioneers to like open up, the awareness of like this spot, or what about shooting this abandoned train area, or what about going to this city to shoot? Just like I'm trying to get a buzz going on right now in the San Gabriel Valley area, the 606 area. I'm trying to like draw, a possible meet out there soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be nice if we can have a TFTI out that direction, or a Mass Demons or a Shutter Click shoot out that direction. That'd be great.
To be closer.
That'd be great, to do that.
You get the different landscapes.
Right, add variety to it, like every city has about, every other city, small city, especially, Covina. I'm from Covina. Like we have a downtown Covina. It's not all like our downtown Los Angeles, but it's that humble downtown. You would see like I would compare it to like the Sandlot. If you've seen the Sandlot and you've seen when they go to like the liquor store, they're walking around town. Like that's what downtown Covina is like to me. That's what it reminds me of greatly. Like just a family environment city. Like everybody's just really nice to each other. It's really slow, really calm. It's not a lot of violence. You don't hear about a lot of things happening out there. It's a really nice place.
And you bring that that peaceness, that creativity that your environment gives you.
I try to. I try to.
And you bring it out in the photography that you also create here in LA.
Thank you. I think that's probably it. I was born in North Carolina.
Oh, okay,
so,
cool.
like, we didn't move to California until I was like 5 or 6. And when we did, we moved to South Central Los Angeles. And so we lived off of El Segundo and 130th Street.
Nice.
Yes, which is not part of the, greatest area to develop a child in, And my brother being 10 years older than me, so I was, 6 or 5, he was 16, 15. So, things were different for him, when he walked out on the street and went to school. So he was presented with a different challenge than I was, But at the same time, it's, being susceptible, to your environment, how much are you going to give in and how much are you going to give to it, Like that's what it's about. Like, are you going to give in to your environment or are you going to give to your environment? Like, and that's what is going to be the determining factor on what makes you, Like, if you give into it, then that means that you are influenced and everything around you is you.
Yeah.
But if you give to it, then you're trying to change what's around you and what you put into it. You want to make it, you want to enhance it, Like you wouldn't want to pull a flower, you want to water it, Even weeds deserve to be watered, So with that matter, that's why I was like, no matter what they look like, you take your time and talk to them. Like, I've spoken with homeless people in downtown, just like out of nowhere, he was like, I was getting ready to do still wool. And he was like, I'm gonna let you finish. Like, you doing a long exposure? And I'm like, what?
Huh.
You mean, like, it just like, because of that stereotype, like, oh, he's homeless. Like, what does he know? Like, but he's like, oh, you're doing long exposure? What? You mean, it's like, what? Like, what does he know about that? And it's like, when he's shooting at like an F5 stop, I'm like, what? Like, you mean, like, it's just like amazing. And then after I did the still wool, he comes over and talks to us. He ends up being Marvin Gaye's guitarist. You mean,
wow.
It just ended up, in a bad situation, And it was like, these people are just amazing out there if you take time and talk to them, And like, it was on a Sunday night that it happened, and the things he was telling us, and I came to a conclusion. I was like, wow, like it being Sunday night and like the amount of knowledge that I got from him and the influence and like just the change of thought that I gained from him that moment. It was like, the Lord told us to rest on the seventh day, which being Sunday, and later on in the evening, as you learn things throughout the day, when you go to sleep, it's like just like muscle memory. Your mind's also training itself. So like the more you learn, the more you soak in, your mind trains itself and your muscles train itself for everything that you learn that day.
Yeah.
So that you don't tire from it. You can persevere through it. You can push through more, or you understand it more. And then like I was like, just shocked. I was like, wow, here it is, like 11:30 at night on a Sunday, and this is who I meet, and this is what I learned from him.
Yeah.
And then like, I was like, just the fact that we're gonna go to bed, like and rest on this moment, like I was like, it took a moment like to reflect on. It was like a moment to reflect on, definitely. And like I posted one of those too. Like this is one of those product shops I was talking about also. Like where you kind of throw it out there to see what you can get from it. You know, like you're not fishing for it, but you're displaying to be fished. Kind of, you know, where it's the Honda logo on the car. And then like my friend was just washing his car, and I was like, oh, there it is. Like, you know, like right when I saw,
like, let me get that.
Yeah, I was like the way the water was draining down the